Hey guys, so I wanted to document my process. What I'm actually doing here is I'm actually adding a speaker to the HackRF Portapack. And so how I'm doing that, and you might notice this break. Well, I decided to start recording as I actually broke it open. And I wanted to do a short video talking about my process. And I'm going to continue documenting this speaker creation. So what I did was I wanted sound on the Portapack with the HackRF. And as you can see, I have a nice Portapack here. I believe it's by Ham Geeks, and you can find that. That is a compatible Portapack. I also have a video talking about how to actually get the Mayhem firmware on an R9 version of the HackRF. Including clones. Now, you got to be careful. It's always best to buy directly from Great Scott Gadgets or one of their partners, because if you get certain Chinese clones, they may run a custom firmware. So, see, during the chip shortage, as they called it, when rates were raised heavily, we saw part substitutions and otherwise, big companies that started to cater more to the corporates instead of the makers, and we saw a lot of changes and fluctuations in price and supply chain. So anyways, the point is, if you get the wrong clone, there's a possibility you'll have a problem. So just, if you can afford to do so, buying from Great Scott Gadgets is always best policy. It also supports the hardware and the creators of that hardware. So anyhow, with that out of the way, let's talk more about how we're going to create this speaker. So what we did was we have two wires attached directly in here, this clip in the Portapack. So you can see that a little closer. And anyhow, these two wires, there's a red positive and a black negative. And what I did was I actually took an old laptop speaker and I ended up twisting the wires here, as you can see. And after that, after testing the initial tests and seeing the speaker working from the laptop, what I did was I then soldered it together and then also did a base wrap of tape. Now I'm also going to do a little better. I might get some shrink tubing to really clean it up a bit. But it works for its purpose. So what I'm doing next is I want to shrink down this computer laptop speaker. I want to make it so I can attach it either to the side or the inside in between the HackRF and the Portapack, right in the side of the battery area. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually trying to open this without breaking the wire. So my tip to you today on that is what I did was I took two hands, and obviously I'm holding a camera with one, so I can't show you now, but I basically twisted this until it snapped open, and I was able to then safely observe where the wires are. As you can see, they're right in the middle. See, the thing was, I wasn't sure if they were aligned on the side, so since I'm also using an X-Acto knife, I really didn't want to have to repair the wire if it broke, so I'm trying to be very careful. So the best way to go about this is to twist this computer speaker, and then that cracked it open for me, and now I will gently use an X-Acto knife to cut everywhere around the wire so that I can actually shrink this down to something like this size, and that's what I'm going for. So that's what I'm doing here today, and I will be continuing to document the process for everyone. So if you want to save some money, not have to buy a speaker for your Portapack, well, you might be able to take an old piece of hardware, just like I did, and we're going to continue until we finish the process. And make sure to like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video in this series.